This is a physical, tough team. They play hard. They finish. They got weapons. They got skilled players. It sounds like Fields will be back. So he's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's very dangerous. So I'd say they're at full force, and this is a formidable opponent. So we got our hands full. We got to be ready to go. And so this is day one of it. Questions?
Given to them in terms of just their explosiveness. You saw weeks 1 through 6. I mean, Fields, I think, was second in the NFL on 20-plus yard touchdown passes. Is that the element that he brings that's maybe a little bit different than what you've seen from them in the last couple of years?
Yeah, look, he's stretching the ball down the field. They're asking him to do some things in that pass game that they weren't necessarily doing before, but they've got more now. This number 2 is he's one of these premier guys now. He's dangerous. He's versatile. He's strong. He's got run after catch, vast route tree. He's a weapon. Cole Kmet, his game is elevated. He's dangerous. Big red zone target for them. Mooney's still dangerous. I mean, they've got weapons across the board. Sounds like Herbert will be back. Foster's running hard. He fits that offense, what they asked him to do. We got a dose of him last year at Carolina, so we know what he is. So, Fields, with his ability to run under duress, makes him extremely dangerous.
Coach, I won 6 straight divisional games going back to last year. Take me through the point of emphasis on these divisional games, and as you guys are trying to get this title for the first time since '93. Just what's the point of emphasis on winning these games?
And look, if you aspire to win the division, you have to win your division games. That's the bottom line. And we've got one under our belt, and this is number 2. So it's as simple as that. You don't know how these games are going to unfold. You don't know how the season is going to entirely unfold at the end. But certainly you better have a majority of the division wins if that's what you plan on doing. So it's that. I always say they count for 2. This is like winning 2 games a little bit when you play these division games. So it's important. It's important. It's a conference game, and more importantly, it's a division game.
Such a emotionally exhausting win. You talked about it yourself.
You're exhausted.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm not exhausted.
You did describe it as like a melt in your seat type post game, right on the way home. So you're going against a team that is in last place in the division. One of the worst records in football. How do you make sure to your guys avoid, I guess, the trap game or not being up for this opponent?
Yeah, look, I told them today. I said, you know what? Go watch the tape. That's it, and put all your focus on this tape, and you tell me what the tape says. And the tape validates everything I just opened up with. This team plays hard. They finish, and they got some dudes. They got on offense and defense. They got some players now. This is not the same team we played last year. It's not. So I keep it as simple as that, and tell them exactly how it is. You don't know what it's going to take, but I mean, for us, we got to play a clean game. We got to be steady, and you don't know. It may take the fourth quarter to finally get this one, but so be it. We got to do what we got to do to win this game. But you just tell them exactly what it is, man. And it is as simple as that. Go watch the tape. The tape doesn't lie. So.
And what about the Bruce Irvin addition? What can he add at this stage of his career to your pass rush, and why did you feel the need to add another?
Well, I think it's no different than adding Schofield. Let's get some veteran guys that we feel like. It's hard to find players as the season goes on here that you may need. So, we added both those guys to the vet squad. We got, Kendall Vildor as well. So that gives us some veteran guys that have played some football that we have interest in. They have versatility. And that's really what it is right now. Let's see where it is. For a guy like Bruce, for example, he came in and gave us a little workout yesterday, enough to see where he's at. He's got superhuman genes, by the way. This guy, he takes great care of himself, but he's not in football shape. He's in shape, but he's not in football shape. So we got to get him there first, and then we'll see where it goes.
Just how pleased or displeased or whatever have you been with your pass rush to this point? What do you think, maybe that you can get from an extra outside rusher like
Well,
that?
look, you can never have too many rushers in your building. So, it brings a guy who, we'll just see what it is. He still certainly shows that he's got a quick first step. He's got power and he can bend, We'll see where it is. I would say, and there's been most of the games we played this year, our pressure has been very good. We're getting to the quarterback. And then we've had a couple of games where it doesn't. And I think we got to be careful that we don't, we're judging everything off of one or two times here. But I'll start with what I just said. You can never have too many guys that you feel like can affect the quarterback.
With Vaitai going to IR, do you expect him back at all this season, or do you know what it's?
That's hard to say. I think it's probably unlikely, but I don't want to, ever never say never. But I would say it's probably unlikely.
Is this the same type of back injury he dealt with last year?
It is. Just a little bit of residual effect of it, And look, man, V's he's unbelievable. He really is. I mean, there's nothing easy about the injury he's had to come back from. Then he had the knee, and he's been rehabbing this thing for a long time. He's put in a ton of work, and that's not easy. It's not easy at all. But he's the type of guy. You ask him how he's doing, he always says he's fine. That's just him, and so. No matter what, I told him we want him around here. He wants to be around, and he's still very much a part of us and what we are here.
Dan, you guys are a top-tier run team, and you got Devo back, and now you have a Bears team that's come in and been #1 against the run. What type of challenge do you see that they face up on tape?
Yeah, I think it's what I said. They got length, they got size, they got quickness, they move a ton. This is a stunning defense. They got a ton of different looks, coverage-wise, and I think when you're able to play multiple coverages, you have length, you play with speed, and you move, it creates problems. It can create problems. I mean, if we can't handle their movement up front, it'll be one of those long days for us. So, and why? Because they play so hard. This team plays hard. And they finish on the football. So this will be a test. This is going to be a test for us, but it's a test that we accept.
Does Montez Sweat add to them?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, he does. Sweat's a good player. I mean, I think he's already got 10 pressures since he's just been with them. So his power and length shows up. I mean, it's there, I just go back to this again. He's a heck of a player, but, we got two pretty good tackles too.
What's the fact that Vikings keep winning help you as you emphasize the value of this division games coming up?
Saying helping?
Yeah, I mean.
I think it's always good to have somebody. Look, man, we're all about competition, and I said it before. We got to assume they're not going to lose out until we see them again. So this is, they've won 3 or 4 in a row. I don't know what that is. They keep getting better. And we got to keep winning. We just have to. So we can't worry about them till the time shows up. But, yeah, I mean, let's go. It reminds me a little bit when I was at the Giants in 2000, and the Eagles were just coming into their own with Andy Reid, and McNabb was in his second year. And, man, we were winning. We went 12-4 that year. And we'd win, they'd win. We'd win, they'd win. We'd win, they'd win. And I think they were 11-5. But I mean, it was just back and forth. We played them 3 times that year. Played them in the playoffs too. But and it was just nonstop. It was back and forth. So it's going to come down to playing those games. You got to keep winning, and then when the time comes and you play that opponent, man, you got to win those games.
Dan, with Fields last year, I think it might have been the first play. He ran around the edge and he got you for 100+ on the ground both times. Seems like he's being used differently this year. I don't know if he's got much more than 50 in a game that he's been healthy. What are you seeing on tape in terms of the way they're utilizing him? Are they trying to make him more of a pass-first quarterback this season?
I think they would like to throw it more than they have is the best way to say it. But we're planning on getting a lot of what we got last year, particularly the first game, use him more as a weapon. That's the way we see it, But yes, they are. But I mean, the guy's too dangerous. So we're gonna kind of prepare that way.
Looking back at the tape, it looked like Jameson Williams was kind of a big part of the game plan, even if he wasn't getting a lot of targets against the Chargers. Was obviously in on the final drive as well. So what has he done to kind of earn that trust? And do you see him continuing kind of that trajectory of continuing to get more snaps?
I'm sorry, go back.
Jameson Williams?
Yes.
Seemed like he was a big part of the game plan last week, even though he didn't get the ball.
Yes.
What has he done to earn that trust?
Yeah, look, he's improving. I think I said this the other day. He feels like he's one of the guys now. Man, he's part of the team. He's one of the guys. He's putting in a good day's work. He's physical. He's tough. And so the more that he earns his stripes here, the more opportunities he gets. Because every time he makes a block like he does, or he runs the routes he's running, he makes some catches, you just gain the trust of everybody around you, and it just keeps going and going. And his comfort level, his confidence level is going up. So he's in a good place right now. He's improving. It's a good thing, man. We're proud of the way he went after it the other day.